They have automation to control the balance, the frequency. They have failover or backup line. If this line is good, they divert power to another line. So the agreed ones will never lead to collapse, but it leads to collapse here in Nigeria because, number one, the automated frequency control that we have started implementing about 20 years ago, we have not finished. And I'm saying that during my time, we must finish implementation of SCADA. Inshallah. We have never had a backup of a failover transmission line to support the existing line if it breaks down. Now, we're already discussing with 2 Chinese firms for the Eastern and the Western super grid that will strengthen our grid. If there's any problem on our conventional natural grid, it will fail over to an alternative grid. We're also investing. But these are not things that you complete in 6 months. They are not projects you complete in 1 year. And they are projects that cost money. To build a 330 kV substation today, or a 132 kV substation, which are the transmission substations today, you need nothing less than between $30 to $50 million. And the minimum time can take is about 2 to 3 years because they will also manufacture the transformers for you. So there's a time lag to all these things. So people must understand that patience, time, is what we need. So we've started doing all that. Then lastly, something happens here that never happens anywhere in the world, which is deliberate destruction of our collective assets. Since I resumed, I've witnessed nothing less than 8 deliberate destruction of our transmission power assets. People will decide to bring down transmission towers, bring down transmission lines. We'll go back to fix it. Before we leave, they will bring it down. Just yesterday, it happened in Nasarawa and Yobe. About 5 years ago, it happened in Bauchi. Before the end of the year, just a few days to the end of the year, it happened in Yobe. The MD of TCN is here.
Yes, sir.
What did you send to me yesterday?
Same thing, sir.
Same thing. These are assets that we spend the country's money on, and our brothers, part of us, will deliberately sabotage it. So you can see that some people are hiding somewhere that do not want this sector to work. I'm saying it confidently, but they are joking. We are not intimidated. We are not scared. We will confront them. We started investigation, and we have also spoken with the NSA to provide security for these power installations. We can't be building something some people will be destroying or demolishing. So, anywhere you have major demolition or destruction of the power lines, it will lead to grid collapse. Some people went into a Bani Kabi injection substation. They deliberately burnt the 2 transformers. Am I lying? The MD is here. They burnt it down deliberately. So that is act of sabotage. And we can't fight it alone. It must be fought collectively. People listening to me at home, people that are here, myself, and people everywhere, we must fight it together. We must fight it together. So these are the complications that we face. So vandalization and theft. Some people, beyond sabotage, they cut the towers, they go to sell. They remove the power cables, they go to sell. Those are the things frustrating delivery and success in this sector. Then lastly is the aging, weak distribution infrastructures, lines and transformers, coupled with huge meter gap, causing unbearably large technical and collection losses. Yes, distribution segment has its own unique issues. Will I be in Abuja as the Minister of Power? I'll be chasing people destroying transformers in communities, removing poles, electric poles, stealing power cables across the 36 states of the country, including the FCT, which is why these are structural issues where every level of government must get involved. and must get passionate in transforming this sector. The state government must be involved. If you can provide oversight for the generating company, there are just about 26 of generating companies, both hydropower and thermal power plants. We can oversight them from Abuja as a federal ministry and our agencies. The transmission company is owned by government. We can provide oversight. These are wholesale segments in the sector. To retail, how power is distributed across the states, across 36 states, the state government must get involved because it is closer to them and they know how to bring all the discourse to their desired performance. So the structural issues are there because the person that is transporting yam, onion, or whatever from the north on highway, when he gets to Lagos, is it the one that will also be doing home delivery of these goods? If you are battling with repairing the highways, are you the one that will be battling with the internal roads again? No. So it requires collective effort of all levels of government, from the federal to the state to the local government, for us to have a very tight and reliable power sector. So these are issues that look so simple on the surface and should ordinarily require little effort to fix over time. However, it's been quite difficult to get these problems fixed over the years due to the complications wrapping the entire value chain end to end. These are the complications. So I said we tackle these complications headlong. The simple issues will remain forever. But in our own time, we are going to do everything possible to ensure we tackle it. I'll try and wrap up. So the major complications are, number one, the persistent liquidity issues, which I've explained, coming from inappropriate tariff regime, poor collections and inadequate funding of government subsidies, leading to huge debts owed to the transmission, the generation, and the gas supply companies. This has restricted investment required for sustaining supply flow, for capacity expansion, and for infrastructural improvements. You can't be talking about continuity of production if they are being owed. You have not been paid for the last supply. How will you buy raw materials for the next supply? You can't be talking about capacity expansion because the sector is not attractive to investors. But they believe that if they bring their money today, they will be owing them. And the banks that want to give money to, they cannot see a line of sight for repayment. So to decide by financial institutions. So it has also not only discouraged lending to the sector by financial institutions as sectoral activities are not bankable, but has also made the sector unattractive to new investors. The second complication is the value chain structural issues, bordering on operations and control of generation, transmission and distribution segments. There has been an inability of the Nigerian electricity supply industry to adhere to market rules and to enforce market discipline. This has led to each segment in the value chain operating on a best endeavor basis. These are issues which you must resolve. The chairman, Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, is here, Alhaji Abba Sanusi. We have to raise our games. Industry operators must obey market rules. If I say this is the MRO, you should pay as a disco. You don't have a choice. You must pay. You must pay. Everybody must respect market rules. The third complication is the lack of clear and unambiguous definition of our concept of electricity as a nation. Is it a commercial product? We need to decide too as a nation. Probably a public discourse will be needed. Do we see electricity as a commercial product, or is it a social service? It's a commercial product. We must be ready to pay for it. If I want to go to Lagos today, the airline, you just give me a ticket, I will pay. But it will not be in short supply. There will not be scarcity. But if it's a social product, government must be ready to subsidize and provide funding for the subsidy. So this extends to distorted tariff regime with unfunded government subsidy, culminating into huge debts, inhibiting continuity and sustainability of the supply value chain. In fact, we need a national discourse on this last issue. So these are the issues which I believe I've been able to communicate to you. And we must join hands to resolve them. But we have a roadmap to stabilizing the sector in preparation for a turnaround and a transformation. Number one thing that we need to do, if you don't do this number one, we cannot move forward.